US. So if his views of events are disbelieved, it could be that shareholders on both sides of the Atlantic will want him removed from office. So that could be the beginning of the end of the Murdoch dynasty in that global media empire. But it could get worse. If the police find he knew more about the wider use of phone hacking, he could then become the 16th person to be arrested in this long-running saga. So this story is far from over. At this point, Murdoch standing before a British court can't be entirely ruled out, unless James himself has some good, convincing answers. Jenny.
Richard, we have already witnessed some shocking turns of events in this huge scandal, and this seems like a bottomless well. Thank you very much for your report. That was our correspondent, Richard Bestick, out of London. Now moving on, thousands of people have marched across central Rome to protest against an austerity package proposed by the government of the Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. The march was part of an 8-hour national strike called by Italian's largest union. It disrupted public transport, including air traffic, underlining the atmosphere of the emergency in the Eurozone's third largest economy. Union sources said demonstrations were held in more than 100 Italian cities, and the protest is against the 45.5 billion euro austerity package. It coincides with the opening of a debate in the Senate as well, and the government hopes the proposal will be swiftly approved before the package passes to the lower house. Now turning to Australia, where police have successfully defused a tense hostage situation in Sydney. A 12-year-old girl was held hostage by her father in a family court for almost 12 hours before being safely rescued by police. Police detained the 52-year-old father. Michael Wayne takes a closer look.
Police cordoned off and evacuated a building in the western Sydney suburb of Parramatta on Tuesday in a tense standoff with a man who claimed to have a bomb in his backpack. The man smashed a window and issued threats from the lawyer's office, where he held his daughter hostage. A receptionist at the law firm says the man walked in with his daughter early Tuesday morning, asking to see an individual who does not work at the firm. After repeated requests, the man got agitated and proceeded to make threats about having a bomb in his backpack. He issued several demands during the 12-hour standoff, but when negotiations broke down, police stormed the building.
Throughout the day, the negotiators have been attempting to resolve this situation peacefully. Towards the latter part of the time we've been here, those negotiations have started to break down, and they've deteriorated to a stage where police have taken action to break into the premises and to take a 52-year-old man into custody.
Police say the standoff may be linked to a custody battle for the girl. Once safely in police hands, the young girl was rushed to a waiting ambulance where she appeared unharmed but in clear distress.
A 12-year-old female who was in the premises has been rescued by the police, and she's been united with some members of her family. She's obviously distressed, but otherwise appears to be unharmed.
The latest incident marks Sydney's second bomb scare in as many months. In August, a teenager endured a 10-hour ordeal with a fake bomb strapped to her neck. Police say explosive experts were still studying the backpack left by the man at the office. Michael Wong, CCTV.
And now all the way to South Africa, which has one of the highest incidences of police killings in the world in the fight against the crime. Around this time every year, the country pays tribute to its policemen and women who have died in line of duty. At a special memorial service in Pretoria, South African President Jacob Zuma said the training of police officers will in the future be more specialized, and police officers would be encouraged to wear bulletproof vests at all times. CCTV correspondent Renee Delcarme has this story.
A husband remembered, a father never known. Tears and tributes for loved ones who died in the line of duty. Thousands of family members and colleagues gathered at the police memorial in the South African capital Pretoria to pay their respects. 94 members of the South African Police Service were killed in accidents and crime-related incidents in the past financial year. 60 were killed since the beginning of 2011. Top brass and South African President Jacob Zuma said the number of fatalities was unacceptably high, and the loss to the families and to the state was immeasurable.
The policemen and women that we are paying tribute today paid the ultimate price for fighting crime. We acknowledge that supreme sacrifice and reiterate our deepest condolences to the families. The killing of police officers hits at the belly of the state because these are men and women who are supposed to protect our people and ensure law and order in our country.
Grieving families said the memorial ceremony in honor of their loved ones made them feel that their loss was not in vain. For them, it was a day of remembrance and pride.
You know, this is very important for us, especially for the wives, the children, to one day come here and see, listen, my husband's name is on that wall. And it is so important to me as well to bring him here and say, listen, here's Daddy's name. He was a hero. And for everybody here as well, for all the families, they can come here and have that little presence, you know, to come here and say, touch the wall and say, I'm here, my baby. Thank you so much for being the hero that you were.
For others, the pain was still too raw.
We're getting through it, but, you know, it's very hard. Especially with so much of exposure, and it's just hard to talk about, yeah.
President Zuma urged members of the South African Police Service to treat every crime call-out as potentially life-threatening. He said while South Africa's men and women in blue should not be trigger-happy, they should not hesitate to protect themselves and civilians when they are under attack. Renat Al-Kham, CCTV, Pretoria.
To all the heroes in South Africa. Japanese rescuers are still searching for more than 50 people missing in the wake of Typhoon Talas. Tom Fuhren has more on the disaster that has left almost 40 people dead and more than 4,000 others stranded.
Wakayama Prefecture was the hardest hit region battered by Typhoon Talas. Police from surrounding prefectures flew in rescue helicopters on Tuesday to aid stranded residents with food supplies. 9 people were killed in Nachi Katsura, including the daughter of the town's mayor, Shinichi Teramoto. His wife is one of 56 people still missing. He has little time to mourn, however, with his priority being to help the town.
I have to think about how to help the people of the town deal with this disaster. Only after that can I think about my family. I hope that I can find my wife soon to send off my family with my daughter.
Nara Prefecture also saw record-breaking amounts of rain, with overflowing rivers washing away explosives and their detonators. The waters have receded since the storm, but the full extent of the damage is still being investigated. Talas made landfall in Japan on Saturday and swept back out to sea early on Sunday morning. It weakened into a tropical storm, lingering over regions of western Japan and hammering villages with heavy rains for 48 hours. The damage caused by Talas is the worst by a Japanese typhoon since Tokaje killed a total of 98 people in October 2004. Tom Fuhren, CCTV.
And finally, onto another tropical storm in the United States. The slow-moving remnant of Tropical Storm Lee have dumped rain across the U.S. South and whipped up twisters that damaged dozens of Georgian homes as the system pushed farther inland. Several people were swept away by floodwaters. In Mississippi, a man was drowned while trying to cross a swollen creek, and authorities have called off the search for a missing swimmer presumed dead off Alabama. Another man is missing after trying to cross a creek in suburban Atlanta. Tornadoes that caused minor damages were also reported Monday in Alabama, and southern cities that reported numerous roads closed by flooding include Birmingham, Alabama, and Chattanooga, Tennessee. More than 23 centimeters of rain has fallen in Chattanooga and setting a record for rainfall in 24 hours. That's all for this hour's CCTV News Update. For more news, visit our website at english.cctv.com. I'm Jenny Gu, and thank you for being with us.